Who you are today is holding back the person you're meant to become. Are you ready to completely transform yourself? Listen closely if you want to unlock the secrets of success. This isn't just a talk, it's an invitation to change your life. Disappearing begins with intentionally stepping away from the crowd. Most people underestimate the influence that constant exposure to others has on their decisions, mindset, and energy. When you are always visible, always reacting, always performing for others, your attention is divided. Your focus becomes scattered across other people's expectations, opinions, and distractions rather than being fully committed to your own growth and vision. To truly transform, you must give yourself permission to step back and create the mental and emotional space necessary to think, plan, and grow without interruption. This act of stepping away is not about running from responsibilities or isolating yourself from life entirely. It is about being strategic with your presence, understanding that where you invest your time and attention directly determines the results you experience. Most people are constantly chasing external validation. They want to be seen, liked, or approved by friends, family, colleagues, or even social media followers. This energy is wasted. Every moment spent seeking approval is a moment taken away from developing the skills, habits, and mindset that create real lasting success. By disappearing, you are reclaiming that energy and redirecting it toward your own growth. When you step away from the crowd, you begin to notice the subtle ways that others' opinions influence your choices. Perhaps you have been hesitant to pursue a new opportunity because someone questioned your ability. Maybe you have held back from making a major change because of fear of judgment or ridicule. By deliberately removing yourself from these external pressures, you gain clarity. You can start making decisions based on what aligns with your vision and values, rather than what is expected of you. This clarity is powerful because it allows you to act with intention rather than react impulsively. Creating space from the crowd also protects your energy. Energy is one of the most overlooked aspects of success. When you are constantly surrounded by noise, whether it's people's negativity, drama, or even well-meaning advice, you expend mental and emotional energy that could be better invested in learning, growing. By disappearing, you preserve your energy for activities that directly contribute to your transformation. You become more focused, disciplined, and able to execute without distraction. Furthermore, stepping away gives you time to observe and reflect. Most people never take the time to examine their lives, their goals, or their habits. They are too busy trying to keep up with everyone else, chasing after trends, or comparing themselves to others. When you remove yourself from the crowd, you create the opportunity to reflect deeply. You can identify what is truly important, what is holding you back, and where you need to focus your efforts. Reflection is the foundation of transformation, and it requires silence and solitude, conditions that are nearly impossible to find when you are constantly in the public eye. Disappearing is also a way to protect your growth from premature criticism. When you are evolving, not everyone will understand or support your journey. Some will try to pull you back into familiar patterns or discourage you from stepping into your full potential. By removing yourself from the immediate influence of others, you shield yourself from these distractions and allow yourself to grow on your own terms. You can experiment, take risks, and make mistakes without fear of judgment. This freedom accelerates your development because it removes the unnecessary burden of seeking approval. Finally, stepping away from the crowd is an act of discipline and self-respect. It signals to yourself that your growth matters more than the noise around you. It is a conscious choice to prioritize your vision, your goals, and your transformation over temporary comfort or external validation. Every day you choose to disappear intentionally, you reinforce the principle that your life is your responsibility and your success depends on your ability to focus, act strategically, and protect your energy. When you commit to this practice, you begin to notice subtle changes. Your decisions become clearer, your actions more deliberate, and your results more impactful. Disappearing is not about hiding, it is about creating the conditions for your next level. It is the first step in transforming yourself from someone who reacts to life into someone who designs it intentionally. Transformation requires more than just stepping away from the crowd. It demands a careful evaluation of your environment. Your environment is not limited to the physical space you occupy. It includes the people you interact with, the media you consume, the conversations you engage in, and even the energy you allow into your life. Every element of your environment influences your thinking, your habits, and ultimately your results. To transform, you must intentionally curate an environment that supports growth and eliminates anything that hinders it. Most people underestimate the silent and visible influence that their surroundings have on their outcomes. A negative conversation, a toxic relationship, or even passive exposure to limiting ideas can quietly sabotage your progress. People who complain constantly, spread doubt, or refuse to dream big will unconsciously pull you down, even if they are close friends or family. It is not about abandoning love or loyalty. It is about recognizing that your potential is too valuable to be held hostage by energy that drains, distracts, or discourages. Transformation demands courage, and part of that courage is the willingness to protect your mind and your energy from influences that do not serve your vision. Curating your environment begins with awareness. Take a hard, honest look at the people around you, the places you frequent, and the inputs you consume daily. Are they motivating, uplifting, and aligned with the version of yourself you want to become? Or do they feed doubt, distraction, and complacency. Many people fail to see the subtle ways their surroundings hold them back, but once you recognize the patterns, you can start making intentional changes. It might mean spending less time with certain people, limiting exposure to negativity in the news or on social media, or seeking out communities that inspire and challenge you. Equally important is creating a physical environment that supports focus and discipline. Your workspace, living area, and even your daily routines must facilitate growth. Cluttered, chaotic, or distracting spaces reflect a cluttered mind. When your environment is organized, intentional, and aligned with your goals, your actions naturally become more deliberate and productive. Small changes in your surroundings, like removing distractions, creating routines, and dedicating spaces for learning, reflection, and work, compound over time, leading to massive gains in clarity and results. The people you surround yourself with are perhaps the most critical element of your environment. Associations are a mirror of your potential. When you are around ambitious, disciplined, and supportive individuals, their energy lifts you, their mindset challenges you, and their habits influence you positively. Conversely, negative influences can silently erode your confidence and dilute your focus. Transformation requires courage to choose your associations wisely, even when it means creating temporary discomfort by distancing yourself from familiar but unproductive relationships. Another overlooked aspect is the mental environment, the ideas, beliefs, and internal dialogue you allow to dominate your mind. Self-doubt, fear, and limiting beliefs are internal toxins that can be just as destructive as negative people. By feeding your mind with empowering ideas, inspiring stories, and actionable knowledge, you strengthen your mental environment. Transformation occurs when your internal world is aligned with your external actions, creating a feedback loop of growth, confidence, and momentum. Finally, remember that curating your environment is not a one-time task. It is an ongoing discipline. As you evolve, your environment must evolve with you. Continuously seek out influences that push you forward. Challenge your limits and reinforce the new identity you are building. Protect your focus, shield your energy, and cultivate surroundings that amplify your growth. The environment you create is the soil in which your potential takes root. If it is rich, nurturing, and free of toxins, your transformation will flourish. If it is neglected or polluted, your growth will be stunted. Transformation is impossible without intentionality. By carefully evaluating and curating your environment, you create the conditions necessary for your next level. The right environment fuels your focus, enhances your resilience, and accelerates your growth. The wrong environment drains your energy, clouds your vision, and keeps you stuck. To transform, you must not only step away from the wrong influences, but also consciously step into the right ones. Your environment is the foundation of your success. It will either lift you toward your goals or weigh you down, and the choice is yours. Investing in yourself is the corner's transformation. Disappearing from distractions and creating your environment sets the stage, but without actively building your skills, mindset, and personal capabilities, the potential for change remains untapped. Most people spend their time trying to improve circumstances outside themselves, complaining about their job, their finances, or other people, while neglecting the most powerful asset they have, themselves. Real transformation begins when you take full responsibility for your own development and commit to consistent, deliberate self-investment. Investing in yourself is not just about formal education or acquiring certificates. It is about continuously upgrading your knowledge, skills, habits, and character in ways that directly contribute to your vision. It is about identifying the areas where growth is needed and dedicating time, energy, and resources to improvement. This could mean studying financial literacy to secure your future, learning communication and leadership skills to influence others, or refining your emotional intelligence to navigate challenges effectively. Every moment spent improving yourself compounds over time, producing results far beyond what external effort alone can achieve. One of the most overlooked aspects of self-investment is mental development. The quality of your thoughts determines the quality of your life. Many people allow their minds to be filled with doubts, fears, and limiting beliefs that silently sabotage their potential. By investing in yourself mentally, through reading, studying, attending workshops, or learning from mentors, you reprogram your thinking and expand the range of possibilities you believe are achievable. When your mindset is aligned with your vision, every decision, action, and interaction becomes more strategic, focused, and effective. Physical investment is equally crucial. Transformation requires energy, stamina, and vitality. Neglecting your body undermines your ability to perform at your highest level. Engaging in regular exercise, eating wisely, and maintaining healthy habits are investments that pay dividends in resilience, clarity, and productivity. A strong mind cannot thrive in a weak or neglected body. By taking care of your physical self, you create the energy reserves necessary to pursue your goals relentlessly and withstand the pressures of transformation. Emotional and spiritual investment cannot be ignored either. Transformation is not only about skills and knowledge, it is about cultivating inner strength, resilience, and a sense of purpose. Practices such as meditation, reflection, journaling, or even aligning your actions with a higher set of values help you build emotional intelligence and mental stability. This inner foundation allows you to navigate setbacks, criticism, and challenges without losing focus or motivation. The stronger your internal foundation, the more you can achieve externally. Financial investment in yourself is also essential. Whether it's attending courses, Hiring a mentor or acquiring resources that enhance your capabilities, the money you spend on growth is one of the highest return investments you can make. Many people hesitate to spend on self-development due to fear or scarcity thinking, yet those who commit resources strategically almost always see exponential returns in skills, opportunities, and income potential. Spending wisely on yourself accelerates your transformation and positions you for opportunities that others miss. Another key aspect is the discipline of consistent action. Transformation does not happen overnight. It is the product of small, deliberate actions repeated over time. Investing in yourself means committing to daily growth, setting aside time for study, reflection, practice, and experimentation. It is the continuous effort to close the gap between where you are and where you want to be. Those who fail to take this step often wait for circumstances to change, hoping for luck, recognition, or external validation. But transformation belongs to those who act consistently, strategically, and with purpose. Ultimately, investing in yourself is about creating leverage. The knowledge, skills, discipline, and mindset you build become the tools that multiply your impact in every area of life. The more you invest, the more capable, confident, and influential you become. Transformation is not a matter of chance. It is a matter of deliberate preparation and consistent action. By committing to yourself first, you set the stage for breakthroughs that will redefine what is possible in your life. Redefining your identity is one of the most powerful steps in transformation, yet it is often the one people resist the most. Many of us are trapped by old labels, past failures, and expectations imposed by society, family, or even ourselves. These labels, I'm not good enough, I can't do this, or this is just who I am, become self-fulfilling prophecies that keep us confined to the life we have, rather than the life we are capable of creating. Transformation requires breaking free from these limitations and consciously choosing a new identity that aligns with your vision and purpose. Old identities are comfortable but constraining. They feel safe because they are familiar, but they are also invisible chains that prevent you from taking the risks necessary for growth. Every time you cling to an outdated version of yourself, you make decisions that reinforce stagnation rather than progress. To transform, you must first recognize the habits, thought patterns, and beliefs that are tied to your old self. This requires brutal honesty and self-awareness. Ask yourself, who am I being today, and who do I need to become to achieve the life I want? The moment you answer that question, you take the first step toward reshaping your identity. Redefining your identity is not about pretending to be someone you are not. It is about aligning your external reality with your internal potential. It is about consciously choosing behaviors, thoughts, and actions that reflect the person you want to be. If you aspire to be disciplined, successful, and influential, you must act in ways that embody those qualities, even before they are fully visible in your life. Your identity is expressed through your actions, and consistent actions reinforce a new self-concept. Transformation is built through repetition, habit formation, and deliberate practice. The more you act like the person you want to become, the more that identity solidifies, and the easier it becomes to sustain change. Another essential aspect of redefining identity is letting go of external validation. Many people struggle to change because they are tied to the opinions of others. They fear judgment, criticism, or rejection, and as a result, they remain trapped in a version of themselves that is acceptable to the world, but unacceptable to their potential. Transformation requires courage, the courage to step into a new identity even if others do not understand or approve. Over time, your results and the confidence of your new identity will speak louder than the doubts of anyone else. Redefining identity also requires intentional language. The words you speak to yourself shape your reality. Phrases like, I'm not ready, I'll try, or I'm just not that person reinforce old patterns. Replace them with empowering declarations that reflect the new identity you are cultivating. I am capable, I am growing every day, I am the person who achieves this. Language is a bridge between thought and action, and by consciously choosing words that align with your desired self, you accelerate your transformation. Visualization and belief play a key role as well. Your mind cannot distinguish between a vivid mental image and reality when you consistently feed it with clarity and emotion. Picture yourself living as the person you want to become, confident, disciplined, successful, and influential. Feel the emotions associated with that version of yourself and allow those feelings to guide your actions. Belief precedes reality. Act in alignment with a new identity until you truly believe it is possible. Finally, remember that redefining your identity is a process, not a one-time event. It requires patience, persistence, and daily reinforcement. You will face setbacks, doubts, and moments when the old identity tempts you to revert. The key is to remain disciplined, act intentionally, and keep feeding the new identity with consistent actions, empowering language, and deliberate choices. Over time, the new identity will replace the old one, and your transformation will no longer be an effort, it will be your natural state. Redefining who you are is not merely about change, it is about evolution. You are shedding the limitations of your past self and stepping into the version of yourself that is capable, resilient, and unstoppable. Every thought, action, and choice you make in alignment with this new identity compounds over time, creating exponential growth and positioning you for a life that is no longer constrained by old patterns or expectations. Acting with intentionality is the bridge between preparation and transformation. Many people spend months or even years preparing themselves, learning, reflecting, and upgrading their skills, but fail to see real change because they never take deliberate, consistent action. Transformation does not happen by accident. It requires purposeful action that is aligned with your goals, your vision, and the new identity you are building. Every step you take in private compounds over time, creating momentum that is unstoppable when you finally step into the public arena of your life. Intentional action begins with clarity. You must know exactly what you are aiming for, what your priorities are, and what success looks like for you. Without clarity, even the most disciplined effort can be wasted. People often act, but they act randomly, reacting to circumstances, distractions, or other people's agendas. Transformation demands that every action you take is deliberate and aligned with your vision. You must ask yourself, does this move me closer to who I am becoming? If the answer is no, it is not worth your time. When your actions are intentional, every effort compounds and progress accelerates exponentially. Another key principle is consistency. Transformation is rarely the result of a single moment of effort. It is the result of repeated disciplined action over time. The habits you form in private, the routines you establish, and the small daily choices you make accumulate into a massive advantage. One focused, intentional hour every day dedicated to learning, practicing, or building your skills is far more powerful than sporadic bursts of activity fueled by motivation. Intentional action thrives on discipline, not inspiration, because inspiration is fleeting, while discipline creates lasting results. Acting with intention also requires courage. It is easy to stay comfortable in the shadows, quietly preparing, without ever testing yourself in the real world. But transformation demands that you take calculated risks, step outside your comfort zone, and challenge yourself to implement what you've learned. Every time you take bold, intentional action, you reinforce your new identity and build confidence in your capabilities. The act of doing, even imperfectly, accelerates your growth far more than endless preparation or analysis ever could. Equally important is prioritization. Intentional action requires that you focus on high-value activities, those that produce the greatest results relative to your goals. Most people waste time on low-impact tasks, distractions, or activities that make them feel busy but achieve little. To transform, you must ruthlessly identify and commit to actions that matter. This may mean saying no more often, eliminating unnecessary commitments, or restructuring your day around the most important activities. Focused action produces exponential returns, while scattered effort produces stagnation. Another dimension of intentionality is reflection. Acting deliberately does not mean mindlessly executing a plan. It means continuously evaluating your results, adjusting your approach, and learning from every outcome. Feedback is a gift. Each action you take, whether it succeeds or fails, provides valuable information that can refine your strategy and strengthen your approach. By reflecting and iterating, you turn every effort into a stepping stone toward mastery, ensuring that your progress is intentional, not accidental. Finally, remember that intentional action is the ultimate multiplier of transformation. All the preparation in the world, curating your environment, investing in yourself, and redefining your identity remains dormant without action. It is the act of applying knowledge, testing skills, and stepping boldly into the world that converts potential into results. When you act intentionally, you create momentum that becomes unstoppable, positioning yourself to achieve levels of success, influence, and fulfillment that were previously unimaginable. Transformation is not a dream. It is a decision followed by deliberate, consistent, and courageous action. The world rewards those who execute, not those who merely plan. By acting intentionally every day, you bridge the gap between who you are and who you are capable of becoming, turning preparation into performance and potential into reality. Mastering patience and resilience is the final, yet perhaps the most critical, component of true transformation. Transformation is rarely immediate. It is a process, a journey, and a series of deliberate choices made over time. Most people give up too soon. They expect change to be quick, visible, and effortless. When results do not appear immediately, they feel discouraged, revert to old habits, and abandon the very process that could have elevated them to a new level. The truth is, patience and resilience are the compounding forces that convert consistent effort into remarkable results. Patience begins with understanding that growth is a process and that each stage of transformation requires time. Just as a seed takes months or years to grow into a strong, fruitful tree, your efforts in personal development, skill building, and mindset cultivation require consistent attention and care. Instant gratification is the enemy of transformation. When you embrace patience, you give your efforts the time to mature, your skills the opportunity to develop fully, and your new identity the chance to solidify. Every moment spent preparing, learning, and acting with purpose is an investment, and patience ensures that you do not withdraw prematurely before the results manifest. Resilience complements patience. Transformation is rarely linear. Obstacles, setbacks, and challenges are inevitable. Those who succeed are not the ones who never encounter difficulty, but those who persist despite it. Resilience allows you to recover quickly from failures, absorb lessons from mistakes, and maintain momentum when the path becomes difficult. It is the mental and emotional fortitude that prevents you from being derailed by criticism, doubt, or temporary adversity. Each challenge you overcome strengthens your capacity to handle the next, and over time this resilience compounds, creating a foundation of strength that is unshakable. To cultivate patience and resilience, It is essential to focus on progress rather than perfection. Transformation is not about flawless execution. It is about consistent, imperfect action over time. Celebrate small victories, acknowledge incremental improvements, and recognize that each step, no matter how minor, moves you closer to your ultimate goal. When you measure success in terms of progress, patience becomes easier and resilience becomes natural. You learn to see setbacks not as failures, but as opportunities to refine your approach and strengthen your determination. Another vital aspect is maintaining a long-term vision. Transformation often requires enduring discomfort, uncertainty, and the temptation to return to familiar patterns. When you keep your eyes on the long-term prize, short-term challenges lose their power to distract or discourage you. A clear vision acts as a compass, guiding your actions and reinforcing the belief that persistence will eventually yield results. The ability to stay committed to your vision, even when immediate evidence of success is lacking, separates those who achieve true transformation from those who settle for mediocrity. Patience and resilience also demand self-discipline. It is easy to be motivated when everything is going well, but true growth is tested in moments of difficulty, monotony, or delayed results. Self-discipline allows you to maintain focus and continue acting intentionally even when external conditions are unfavorable or progress seems slow. Discipline is the bridge between knowledge and execution, and when combined with patience and resilience, it ensures that your efforts are sustainable and cumulative. Finally, mastering patience and resilience means embracing the discomfort of growth as a necessary part of the process. Transformation will challenge your comfort zones, push you beyond familiar limits, and test your commitment. Rather than avoiding discomfort, learn to see it as a signal that you are moving in the right direction. Every moment of struggle, every test of endurance, and every challenge overcome strengthens your new identity and reinforces the foundation of your transformed self. When patience and resilience are fully cultivated, transformation becomes inevitable. Your focus remains unwavering, your energy remains disciplined, and your actions remain consistent. You no longer rely on luck, external validation, or immediate results. Instead, you trust the process, invest in yourself daily, and persist until the outcomes manifest. Mastery, patience, and resilience turns preparation into performance, potential into reality, and intention into unstoppable momentum. The time has come. Leave the old you behind and step into your new self. The power to transform is within you. Unleash it now. Disappear, prepare, and then show the world who you truly are. Today's decision builds tomorrow's success, and your journey has just begun.